On this episode, we discuss how many tend to build personalities around pain. This happens when a person identifies so much with painful circumstances that the trauma becomes who they are. Tune in for tips, tools, and insight on how not to let hurt define the way you show up in the world, right here on LifeClub. I'm Tashima Jones. I genuinely believe personal development and intention unlock the door to the abundant life we already have. I am so grateful your journey has led you all the way here. Let's keep moving forward together. Welcome to Life Club with me, Tashima Jones. Have you ever met a person who carries their pain as a badge of honor? Could that person be you? The stories we tell ourselves about ourselves shape how we ultimately see and conduct ourselves. When one is exposed to repeated unfortunate events, it can slowly dull the sense of hope and create an image on the inside that was never intended. It is said to never let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. The same is true pertaining to circumstances, and I hope to be a voice among the many that shed some light on this truth. Here is our list of definitions. Personality. The psychological definition of personality refers to individual differences in characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and believing. On Life Club, we consider personality as the combination of one's paradigm and how that paradigm influences an individual's emotions and behaviors. It's what we refer to as the soul. Pain. Pain is suffering inflicted as punishment for an offense. It also includes experiences that have caused hurt and fear. Schema. Schema is a systematic pattern of thought and behavior. It causes us to make assumptions about the future based on our first impression or engagement with a person, place, object, or idea. It acts as a building block or blueprint to how we perceive the world around us and even ourselves. As always, when we know the definition of a thing, we are better equipped to using it properly. Now, let's dive in. What happens when a particular schema isn't the healthiest? Simply put, an unhealthy personality is born. Remember, personality refers to an individual's patterns of thinking, which influences their emotions and eventually their behavior. Again, our first encounter or repeated encounters with a matter begins to construct a schema. In other words, our perception, the way we interpret a thing, shapes our perspective, how we see that thing. For example, consider your first relationship. And for the sake of this episode, that relationship was a toxic one. You stayed for as long as you could and did as much as you could, but it just didn't work out. If you aren't mindful, a schema can be created regarding the person you are with and even your self-worth. You can become hesitant on dating a specific type of person again because they physically look like your previous partner. You can be done with dating altogether and even feel a sense of unworthiness. This is true for other aspects of life like socializing and finances. If you were bullied at school, abused at home, or deprived of basic necessities, you could have very well built a schema or pattern of thinking based on these circumstances. So you avoid adults who resemble the bully. You stay clear of intimate relationships and become a workaholic to avoid perceived lack. Pain, like pleasure, has the ability to make an impact on our very soul. With every experience comes a deposit in our memory. And memory isn't just stored, it's used and referred to over time. While this is helpful for math and science, forgetting some things that are behind us is very beneficial for a fulfilling present and future within ourselves. Here's the thing. We are built to recall and process experiences. The key is healing from the ones that hurt us. Oftentimes, we aim to forget in our minds without being healed in our minds. The remedy to forgetting is healing. And that healing comes with creating new schemas or ways of thinking that aren't so rigid and stifling. Schemas have the ability to impact how we receive new experiences, new people, and new opportunities. They feed general and personal stereotypes that we may not even realize or acknowledge. Now, more about personality. It is truly your behavior and how you show up in the world. Think of your personality as a work of art, with the paint colors being a mixture of how you think and feel, and behavior being the result of the two. How you engage with others, your work ethic, your conversation, and self-talk are all revealing that combination of paint. Changing your behavior and external life starts with changing how you think, and changing how you think changes how you feel. There is this beautiful enmeshment of the soul comprised of our mind and emotions and our body and the five sensory experience of life itself. Your responses in the physical reflect your beliefs, which are invisible or spiritual in nature. The painful personality is the self that identifies with trauma. It finds its identity in pain and gives rise to what I call the painful personality traits. These are traits I consider personality wounds. They are traits birthed out of trauma and usually show up as self-preservation, fear, control, indecisiveness, or hyper-responsibility. These traits tend to grow into other pain like worry and sadness. They contribute to the fear of missing out and other painful characteristics such as shame, embarrassment, and guilt. They may also reveal themselves in apologizing when you aren't the one to blame or believing that everything is your fault. If you've dealt with the pain of loss and abandonment, you may obsess over the safety of loved ones, all while devaluing your well-being. When you find yourself responding in thought, emotion, or deed from a place of pain, you are operating in the pain personality created from schemas built from experiences that inflicted a form of pain or punishment. Continuing to do so creates the cycle of you creating internal pain that you simply do not have to endure. The pain personality is constantly looking to avoid pain, which is the very thing that becomes the root of the pain it experiences. Here is your life work. Answer the following questions. What do you believe about yourself? Do you believe you are destined for greatness, or have your experiences told you otherwise? Do you believe happiness is accessible to you, or do you think life is one struggle after the next? Sincerely consider these questions because they will reveal why you do what you do, and ultimately why life shows up to you the way that it does. It is true, as man thinks in his heart, so is he. Even if what he thinks is wrong, he will continue to live life submitted to that lie. If you believe being grumpy is just part of who you are, you will continue to accept that energy. If you believe nothing good ever happens to you, nothing good will ever happen to you, even if you're standing in the middle of the presence of greatness. Remember, your thoughts don't have to be true for you to believe them. The grace in it all is that the same is true when we believe the best. The man with the knowledge of happiness will always see happiness. That person will find gratitude in the nooks and crannies of life. What you appreciates, and complaining about something has the same energy that worshiping or expressing gratitude has. When we consider the patterns of thinking and the opportunity to change how we think, it should incite a sense of expectation and excitement. A large part of our personality is learned behavior. And in rewiring your thought patterns, you're also reconstructing your personality. You are partaking in the creation of new wrinkles on the brain that have the power to shift perception and perspective. Granting life permission to heal painful schemas provides the opportunity to unlearn toxic beliefs, and in turn, it creates space for mind renewal to gain healthier, happier ones. And that's a wrap for this installment of Life Club with me, Tashima Jones. I am Tashima Jones. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and for that, I am truly grateful. Be sure to visit tashimajones.com for more, including our weekly 1-minute meditations and details on how to join Life Club. You can also download my app, TJMTV, for new content and notifications. And to our Life Club members, be sure to check out our new life course, Feeling Your Feelings, which is available now. Until next time, remember your greatness. Talk soon. You've been listening to Life Club with Tashima Jones. Thank you for tuning in.